It's good to see Ozzy feeling good and healthy again, even though he did just drop an album 2 years ago, but around that time, a lot of his health issues started to come into play, and we kind of questioned what he was going to do next. Was his last album his final album, or is he going to make another and even tour? And, well, here we are 2 years later, and we got Patient Number 9, the new studio album from Ozzy Osbourne himself, of Black Sabbath fame, but also just a very successful solo rock artist. And this is the second album in a row where Post Malone's main producer, Andrew Watts, produced the record. However, even though I liked Ordinary Man, the difference between this and Patient Number 9 are definitely visible, as I think with the last record, Ozzy decided to do a little bit more experimentation with some of these songs, whereas on this new album here, but he goes back to kind of the basics for what an Ozzy album should be. And there's some instances where I think it definitely does sound a lot like his No More Tears days, which No More Tears is my favorite Ozzy album, so that just shows you how good I think this thing was. Now, there was a couple of songs that I wasn't really fond of, and that's Mr. Darkness and Darkside Blues. Darkside Blues is weird. It's only like 1 minute and 45 seconds. It closes the album off with this weird kind of way of ending it with just more of a soothing tone. Like, I don't know, I feel like Ozzy wants to make a blues record, but he's too afraid to because, well, you know, the whole metal thing, even though if you listen to Black Sabbath and even some Ozzy stuff now, he still incorporates the blues material into his songs, so it probably wouldn't be anything out of the ordinary. I just felt that it didn't really feel like it needed to be here, but nonetheless it wasn't terrible. I just, with it feeling out of place, I just didn't like it for that reason. And Mr. Darkness just wasn't one of my favorites overall. I feel like with the way the album was going and all this kind of stuff, it just kind of brought it down a little bit for me. But again, it's not one that I hate. It's just when you look at what it's going up against on the rest of this album, it definitely isn't one of my favorites from this one. In the OK tracks, we have No Escape for Now and Degration Rolls. Degration Rolls, he kind of has a weird vocal tone at the beginning of it. It's very odd, and I think that takes it down a bit, but nonetheless, the rest of it is great, and No Escape for Now is also a nice song. But then my favorite tracks, pretty much the rest of the album. The title track, which kicks it off, the one I heard before the album, was nice. Immortal, Parasite, just two of my favorite heavier Ozzy songs. One of Those Days was nice. 1,000 Shades, Nothing Feels Right, Evil Shuffle, which I love that one immensely. I think that's like top maybe 3 on this album of just really good songs. Dead and Gone and God Only Knows are the other ones to finish off my favorites. And of course, like he usually does, Ozzy gets some outside help, as Jeff Beck features on songs like Patient Number 9 and 1,000 Shades. Zakk Wylde, who was popular for being the guy to come in at guitar for Ozzy's band after the death of Randy Rhoads, he features on Parasite, Mr. Darkness, Nothing Feels Right, and Evil Shuffle, and you can definitely tell he's got that certain style of guitar playing. You can definitely tell that it's Zakk Wylde. Mike McCready features on Immortal, and then Eric Clapton features on One of Those Days, which that was a surprise to see. It wasn't some weird collab like Elton John or Post Malone, which again I liked both of those songs, but those were out of the ordinary when it came to Ozzy Osbourne collaborations. You also got Chad Smith of the Red Hot Chili Peppers doing drums on this thing, and even some posthumous drumming from the Foo Fighters' Taylor Hawkins, so that was nice to hear. Overall, Patient Number 9, again, I think it's just what you want from an Ozzy record. It was just rocking all the way through, and for where he's at his age to still being capable of making albums like this, it's like he hasn't slowed down, really hasn't lost a beat, and his vocals don't really sound much different from the way they did back then, and I'm saying that as a good thing. Like, someone his age at this point in their career, you would definitely start to see some disintegrate a little bit, but his have remained the same, and it just keeps on making the songs better and better, and he just keeps seeming to top himself every time out, and he has one of my favorite albums of the year. An 8.5 out of 10 for Mr. Ozzy Osbourne and Patient Number 9. You guys can tell me in the comments below what you thought of this album. That's it for me. Stay safe out there, wear your mask, get vaccinated, and I will catch you all in the next one.